My name is Josh, and I'm part of the negative side on this case. First off, let me say that the source used by my opponent in his first claim was funded by an insurance company, which leads me to this point, that also from Raising the Driving Age to 18 magazine, the automotive manufacturers will only see a delay in purchases by a factor of 3 years, and only for the first 3 years that the driving age was raised to 18. Most 18-year-olds would receive their driver license during the summer after graduating from high school. So what I mean by this is that because of the delay in car, of course auto insurance would be pro their side in this issue. Which brings me to this next point of view, which is that a majority of stats and factual data is based on boy teen drivers and girl drivers. By this I mean that most stats, some of their sources are biased, and it only counts for the boy majority of the population, since that's where most of the accidents happen, in the boys and the women's. And the article that says this is that the age-old stereotype about dangerous women drivers is shattered in a big new traffic analysis. Male drivers have a 77% higher risk of dying in a car accident than women based on miles driven. And another source that I have in evidence that supports this claim that stats and factual data is not right in certain ways is this article from the Seattle Times by Kate Willett. The basic structure and content of drivers' education in the United States has not changed since it was first developed in Eisenhower administration. So it's no surprise that the rate of teen driving fatalities has not decreased since then. Our roads are much more complex today than they were 50 years ago. We're preparing for 21st century teens to drive in mid-20th century. All of his sources that he has said in the beginning were outdated from 2008, about 4 years, going on 5 years outdated. And that's about stats, which should be updated. And this article suggests that our system of driving and our system of teaching driving is already outdated as well. And tackle this next claim that the teen's brain isn't mature, that a teen's brain who's 18 is more mature than 16 is false, because in this article called A Matter of Maturity by Hugh McBride, a 10-year study of brain development by the National Institute of Mental Health showed that the parts of the brain that control high-level functions, such as problem solving, are amongst the last to achieve full functionality. A May 14, 2004 press release announcing the findings noted that the areas with more advanced functions, integrating information from the senses, reasoning, and other executive functions, mature last. My next evidence that supports this is the brain is not fully mature until age 24, so 16 to 17 has similar mindsets as 18. He suggests that when you're 18 you have more maturity, which is wrong. The driving age currently varies from state to state, but the average driving age, meaning the age when you're permitted to get your driver's license, is 16. Although some people may think that 16, 17-year-olds get more car accidents than 18, 19-year-olds, their age has nothing to do with it. The brain is not fully developed until a person is about 24 years old. Therefore, 16 to 18-year-olds are in a similar state of mind. The reason that 16 to 17-year-olds get into more accidents could be that they don't have the experience that 18-year-olds have. Since minors are permitted to apply for a learner's permit at age 15, they have only had about 6 months of experience, which leads me to my last bit of evidence, which is about experience. He claims that experience is that 18-year-olds have more experience than 16-year-olds, which is wrong. I don't know why I brought it up, but it's because when you raise the driving age to 18, you're starting to drive at 18, which is the same as 16. You have the same level of experience driving. So it would be the same. The same amount of accidents you have at 16 would be the same as 18. It'll just move up the age, based on this article by the New York Times and Front Magazine. Except raising the driving age won't save lives. Studies show that it is inexperience, not age, that causes accidents. Raising the driving age will not just create inexperienced, accident-prone drivers at 18 instead of 16. I believe my opponent's claims are weak and require more thought, and also believe that the evidence used is dated, and I recommend that my opponent use more recent information.